Good evening and warm welcome to the State of Business on Now Television. I'm Chamal Fernando. Let's have a look at the headlines. Positive GDP growth predicted for the future, Central Bank Governor says. Sri Lanka attracts nearby $2 billion in FDIs, Subject Minister reveals. Now the news in detail. Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said that the GDP growth will be marginally positive for the fourth quarter of this year. Governor Veerasinghe also expressed confidence in getting assurance from the official creditors in order to complete the first review by the IMF within the next month. Governor Veerasinghe said this speaking at a press conference held in Colombo recently.
Continuous declining in GDP growth on quarterly basis happened up to Q2 of this year. But what we see Q3 and Q4 on quarterly basis or year-on-year quarterly growth will be marginally positive. But given the whole year, because we have a large negative growth in Q1 and some negative growth in Q2, so overall still will be marginally negative this year. But going forward, the next year onwards, I'm sure our expectation is that we will move into a whole year the positive growth territory. But numbers still too early. We have to wait and see what are Q3 numbers and Q4 numbers, and on that basis we will rise. I don't think we should talk about the specific dates, but I am confident that we are making very good progress. And we will get assurances from all official creditors soon for the financial assurances that we need for us to complete the first review, the IMF, within the next month. That certainly will happen. So that's where we think we are moving in the right direction, and we will see a very positive outcome.
State Minister Dilum Amunagama revealed Sri Lanka has attracted $1.8 billion of foreign direct investments so far in 2023, despite external and internal setbacks on Friday. This investment promotion state minister said the significant increase in projects is due to the high value of investments in the energy sector. Investments such as Adani Corporation, Sinopec, RM Parks with Shell, and further sectors such as ITC, BPO, tourism, and manufacturing are the sectors getting more investments. Countries such as China, India, US, UAE, France, Korea, Germany, and Singapore are the destinations invested during 2023, he added. According to the state minister, the baseline forecast is for global growth to slow to 3% in 2023 and 2.9% in 2024. He emphasized that the government's far-sighted and politically unpopular economic stabilization measurement has provided a much-needed foundation for reforms in the institutional and regulatory. He said that the significant achievement of curbing the acceleration cost of living, which has resulted in the single digit of inflation from 74% in 2022 to 1.5% in October 2023. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara said that if the electricity board realizes any operating profit by December, the gains will be allocated to consumers in April. Furthermore, Minister Kanchana highlighted that given the prevailing rain conditions, it is anticipated that there may be a positive turn in the financial outlook of the CEB. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said this during a press briefing at the Presidential Media Centre on Saturday. The minister said that the cabinet approval and the proposed new electricity bill marks a crucial step towards the enhancement of the electricity sector in alignment with national objectives. The minister also said that measures are underway to officially gazette and submit the new Electricity Act to Parliament within the upcoming 2 weeks. The minister added that the intention is to facilitate a comprehensive debate on the proposed act in the parliamentary sessions scheduled for January of the following year. The minister further added that the management of power plants situated in close proximity to Mahaweli, Lakshapana and Samanlavava will be retained by the government. Wijesekara added that it has been decided to consolidate the Norachole power plant under a single company while all other power plants will be grouped together under a separate entity. Minister Kanchan added that the restructuring of the electricity board is anticipated to make improvements in efficiency, quality and reduction of wastage. He further added that the continuity of the Public Utilities Commission is expected to remain unchanged, operating in a manner consistent with current practices. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Speaking at the event, the minister also said that as part of the government's strategic initiatives, 5 significant power plant projects have been identified for immediate implementation. The minister said that the government planned to sign agreements for 5 more projects before the end of the current year. The forthcoming agreements includes a wind power plant in Mana, solar panel power plant in Siamlandu and Hambantota, and also projects proposed for Batiklo and Ponakari. The minister said that the nation has suffered the loss of numerous power plants as a consequence of delayed policy decisions and prolonged non-implementation. He said the construction of the Sampur power plant, which has been under consideration, faced a significant setback when the decision was made in 2016 to forego its construction. The minister emphasized that the Sampur power plant, which was slated for completion in 2020, has resulted in an annual loss of 95 billion rupees due to the non-realization. The minister further said that the government has issued instructions to the relevant departments to reassess the fee for reconnection following a power cut. He said that it is anticipated that the current reconnection fee of 3,000 rupees will be revised for a range between 1,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees. The minister went on to say that this adjustment is aimed at ensuring a more reasonable and accessible reconnection process for consumers. SLMC leader parliamentarian Rauf Hakim told the parliament that the general manager of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board is not allowed to smoothly engage in his duties by the chairman and the board of directors. Parliamentarian Hakim, who was the minister in charge of the water board joining the budget debate last Saturday, said that this should be attended by the government.
General manager post is there. These are all very qualified engineers who hold these positions. Now what has happened is the chairman and the board of directors have virtually taken over all the powers of the general manager. The disciplinary matters, promotion issues, recruitment issues, all of which have to be in the past. Board takes a decision, but finally the general manager has to sign off. But now it has all the powers have been virtually appropriated by the board of directors against the provisions of the Act itself. Act gives certain powers to the general manager and the officers who run because we have additional GMs, general managers. There are about several positions. Now there is an attempt to even suppress some of the positions and then bring other people onto those positions. There seems to be some unnecessary political interference. I know the young minister may not be aware. These things would have started even before he took over. The poor minister can't even appoint a chairman, his position, because everything is being controlled by other political parties perhaps. That may be the reality in this government, because the credibility of the entire governing elite is virtually destroyed among the people, but then still they control too. They have virtual absolute control.
SLMC leader parliamentarian Rauf Hakim also told the parliament that one of the projects by this government has imported equipment for a project named Samutu Jale, but at least failed to release the imported items from the yards of the Ports Authority.
There has been an attempt to import transmission pipes, distribution pipes for almost 4,000 kilometers length all of which is now lying idle in the Colombo port. It's strewn all over the place for the past several years. As this government came to power, they went on a very ambitious program to have almost 78% coverage, water supply coverage for the entire country. It's a very impossible thing. Now, for the past 70 years, we have been able to cover barely about 50% of the country. Now, within 5 years, they were attempting to cover almost 24% more. 70 years, we were able to only cover about 50-odd% of the country's length and breadth by pipe-borne water supply. So this is the extent to which the total inefficiency and this utter ambitious, unrealistic ambitious program has landed the country and the water board into a serious problem. So this has to be looked at.
Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on mixed notes today.
The Euro share price index dropped 27.80 points to close at 10,452.22, and the S&P said 20 gained 0.20 points to close at 2,970.67. The turnover was 0.7 billion rupees and over 19 million shares were traded.
Up next are Forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook.